Så hej och välkomna till ett helt nytt avsnitt här på min YouTube-kanal. Idag ska vi fortsätta den här resan med HitchHiker. Vi ska börja med i åktur 4. Bahad Sayed. I bagagen. Fan, knappar du in?
Hello. Copernicus? Is that you?
Ja.
Let me guess. You've gotten yourself into some kind of jam. Swinging by your toes over a tiger cage?
Ja, något i den stilen.
Kidnapped? That doesn't sound like part of your dream. Then again, you do have a way of making enemies. And who'd you piss off this time? Leia? Well, you only get what you deserve from her. Mind your manners and she's liable to bring you a free refill. Rub her the wrong way, and she might just spit in it. She wants to give us the benefit of the doubt, but we seem to be making it hard for her. Speaking of which, did you find the box, Copernicus? Have you opened it yet? Figure out a way to open that box, Copernicus. Inside, you'll find out who you really are. Don't mess with him, kid. He's the final gatekeeper. Way too strong.
Okay.
You need to learn the spell first, before you can go up against him. Hey, if I knew it, I'd tell you. But let's start by getting you out of that box. Lucky for you, I've got my farmer's almanac here. Let's have a look. Hang on. C, cabbage, caraway, carrot, car trunk.
Där har vi det.
First thing you should do is reach around for the latch. Sounds kind of obvious. Okay, next step. See if you can scare up the brake lights. Can you find them? It's a little gizmo with some wires.
Wow.
Okay. Yank on the wires and try to pull the lights into the trunk with you. Got them? What color are the lights? We need a green light, kid. A steady green light. That's the way forward. Gotta run now. Good luck to you, kid.
Jag kan inte sånt här. Du skulle vara där. Ja. Nej. Då testar vi dig. Ah. Nej. Nej. Ja. Nej. Nej. Kan man använda brute force och så gör man det. Hur? Finns liksom ingen annan. Så.
ما أدري شو تسوي بسيارتي، بس من خبرتي بهذا المكان راح تسح بعدين. إنجليش. آسف، ما أدري هاي مو صدق، بس أنا أشعر بيه كاني من صدق حجة سعر. كل شيء هنا إلها دلالة رمزية، السترن، الجير والقرن على الدشبول. إيه معود على كيفك، عريد أوقف.
Du behöver tvätta dina sidospeglar. La la la.
Equacusis race over the glowing asphalt, and I try to find an image of you. And the sweet fireflies, they dance in the night. They are stumbling on my way back to Isia. Porite navite tu horizondas totelos tu dromo. Porite navite tu horizondas totelos tu dromo. L'egua nasceva pour de vrai, ma complicament Juliet, ora nosi ne to sognai, te ascade sparate direcho. Porite navite tu horizondas totelos tu dromo. Horizondas totelos tu dromo. Equacusia odio uranos in el toso chaos, demboris equipage of you. And the sweet
Det måste finnas något
fireflies,
jävla...
they dance in the night.
51, vi testar det.
I'm sitting here, my gaze is drifting over the horizon. And I lost my memory on the only way over to nowhere. And the tyrants race over the glowing asphalt, and I try to find an image echo. They'll eat the fireflies, they dance in the night. They are stumbling on my way back to you.
Hur? La 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 la.
And the tiro que el cielo está tan bajo que no puedes parar derecho. And the sweet fireflies, they dance by night. They are stumbling on my way back to you. I'm sitting sperello, sonte al final of the horizon. Navite your only way over to nowhere. And the tyrants race over the glowing asphalt, and I try to find an image of you. And the sweet fireflies, they dance in the night. They are stumbling on my way back to you. Over to nowhere. And the tyrants race over the glowing asphalt, and I try to find an image of you. And the sweet fireflies, they dance in the night. They are stumbling
English?
on my way.
No, sorry. I could, of course, back in the real world, but it doesn't seem to have come with me into this place. To me, this sounds like Arabic.
Varför du
I guess it depends on one's perspective. Anyway, as long as you're not going to start shouting at me again, it's an improvement. Kidnap you? I don't think my singing is that bad.
Jo.
Man with many eyes. Look, I understand you're ready to point fingers. I feel the same way, watching you appear out of thin air next to me. But honestly, I hardly understand a word that's coming out of your mouth. Even now that we're speaking the same language.
Jag tänkte ju på den bla bla bla.
Now I know you must be an English speaker. The only people in the world convinced that every story revolves around them.
Och det
Who
är
are
så.
you anyway? I'm not sure actually.
Nej.
But here, it's funny. On this highway, everybody calls me Al-Shatir. Copernicus, huh? Suddenly, this doesn't seem so arbitrary. Never heard of Ibn al-Shatir?
Ja, nej.
A famous astronomer. I guess you don't learn about him in your schools. One of the forefathers of astronomy. In many ways a predecessor to... Yes, that's right. Copernicus, Al-Shatir. Two iconoclasts from different lands who challenged the belief that the sun revolves around the earth.
Ja.
Two dreamers who had the conviction that their unique consciousness is not the only thing in the center of the universe. Maybe you're not just part of my story, like I'm not part of yours. You were trapped in the trunk, where I've been many times. It's like you've wandered into my dream, and I've wandered into yours.
Wow.
It takes a leap of faith, I know, to admit that we both exist.
Mhm. Men. Varför har de gjort så? Liksom, ja.
Me? Yes, safety. A place far away from wars. From bombings. From the cockroaches that crawl out as soon as the dust settles. On the news, you hear only about armies and religious madmen. But it's the gangsters that drove me away.
Wow.
They're the ones who did this to me. I'm one of the ones who didn't make it. Not all the way. I'm stranded somewhere in between, trying to complete the journey every night in my sleep.
Ja.
The El Mahdi army. They called themselves an army anyway. They were looking for my brother-in-law because he worked as a translator for the US military.
Mm.
Neighbors warned us we should move. And so we did. Twice. Yes, twice. No sooner had we moved the first time than neighbors started telling us that we should move again.
Oh.
That there were people looking for us. By this point, we already felt a bit like exiles. And once you're an exile, you never stop being one.
Nej.
The hard part was, will always be, leaving our first house. That's the house I grew up in. The backyard, where we used to sit and tell stories, where we would pick oranges from our own orange tree. A few years passed and we forgot about the threat. Life had returned to normal. And that's when they came back and picked me up.
Ja.
2 days later, when I woke up in a Baghdad hospital, I found out that they dumped me off there and told the hospital that I'd hurt myself in a work accident.
Ja, nej.
Yes, after that, I couldn't stay. The women in my family, my mother, my sisters, they were the only ones who knew. I was very close to the women in my family. They were the ones who were around all the times while I was recovering. The men, my father, my brothers, always working.
Men.
Always out of the house. I got on a plane to Istanbul, where my cousin lived. He took me to Izmir, where the smugglers are. They're easy to find. I bought a space on a vessel, headed to Mytilene, Greece, the closest harbor in Europe. No, they had a system that you would pay your money to a broker,
Ja.
and he'd give you a token. Once you go to the other side, you show the token. Only then does the broker pay the smuggler. We couldn't leave for 5 days. Too many Greek army ships in the sea. Every morning, getting up at 3:30 to make a go of it. By the 5th day, I was so tired of waiting that I wasn't even scared to get on board any longer. Finally, impatience had overtaken fear. We did not make it to Europe.
Ja.
A boat pulls up next to us. People are trying to understand what's going on, but the men on the ship only speak Greek. At first, people are worried that it's pirates. They take everything from the passengers. Sometimes take the passengers themselves. Sometimes just ram the boat and laugh as it sinks. But no, these are police, it turns out. They take us back to Turkey, where I'm waiting and waiting and waiting.
Ja, det var inte bra.
Of course, I did not remember all this in my dreams at first. These were things I remembered from clues I found along the highway. I've dreamed this highway, this car before, many times. It's a good question. I had an uncle once who left Iraq many years ago to study engineering at the University of Bowling Green. I guess this made an impression on me. Who knows why we dream the things we dream? What is your dream about? A breakup? That's it?
Ja, du dör i en båt och jag har gjort slut. Tufft för oss båda, eller hur?
Ah, that's more like it. Who has been kidnapped?
Ja.
Who's this person that's been taken away from you? Do you have a photo?
Yes,
Who knows?
sir. Nej, okej. Du ska prata klart. Han får jag.
Maybe I've seen her somewhere along this highway.
Ja, bra. Håll käften.
I know her.
Wow.
The same woman, but with different hair color. I just saw her at the gas station a few miles back.
Ja, men det var hon som...
An imposter? But she waits tables at Dante's, right?
Ja,
Betrayed by a friend. That's a familiar note to me.
ja, så jävla synd om
And
dig.
yet, the waitresses at Dante's usually play it straight down the line.
Mhm.
They can dish it out, but they only give you what you deserve. See, that was your first mistake.
Nähä.
In this place, it's important to see things for what they really are. Keep them pinned down. The moment you start shifting things around to suit your needs, well, you're like Pandora, opening the box. She was standing with 2 men. It looked tense, like she was defensive about something, explaining herself. I don't think they fully believed her. One man was wearing an orange vest. He seemed to be in charge.
Ja.
Another, shorter guy next to him. Mean looking, like a shrew. Sounds like getting in my dream. Getting in the trunk. May have saved your neck. No, I didn't get a look. I just heard one strange thing they said. That they were looking for a guy with 8 fingers. They were
Men... Oh my...
going to find him.
Varför är högerklick liksom det?
Something like that. 8 fingers. 8 digits maybe. Uh-huh. And you wouldn't happen to have a strange blue box with you,
Jo, hurra, men
would you? That was the other thing they mentioned. They have the key, but don't want the box opened.
Fy fan, jag höll på att skita ner mig. Vad fan?
Well, if they were chasing you... Say, have you noticed how many tumbleweeds there are suddenly?
Ja, 4.
I don't know, but the weather also seems to be turning suddenly. Turn on the radio and see if you can find a weather report.
Nej.
My God!
Oh,
Get that thing
oh,
off the window! Get it off! Get it off!
Hur? Ska jag slå på din jävel? Nej, okej. Om jag visar lordjäveln. Nej. Tandborst, nej. Vad vill du att jag ska göra? Jag ska slå ihjäl dig.
It seems to be changing the weather conditions.
Sunny skies. Sunny skies today, and we could. Sunny skies today, and we could Sunny skies today, and we could hardly. Sunny skies today, and we could hardly ask for better weather. A balmy 72 degrees, with mild breezes throughout the day. Although there is only a 10.
Suddenly, it's sunny. It's not working.
Nej.
They're stuck to the car. We need some other kind of weather to get clear of them.
Thus, shedding a green skin, rusty scales all melanoma underneath. Its billowing clouds of black smoke, a choking death rattle, and amongst the crowd milling at the door, a girl with long red hair turns towards me and maybe smiles before stepping on board. I follow the level 3000.
This connectivity in
Level 3000.
Looks like tornado conditions now.
Ska du bara titta eller?
Look, the tornado.
Wow.
It's starting to pull the tumbleweeds off the car,
Oh.
but it's not strong enough.
Nej.
Warning, tornado 40 feet from car. Tornado 20 feet from car.
Bra.
It worked. Oh, good riddance.
Så. Fan vad jag är bra.
Look, that was very strange, even for this place. And the eyes on those things. It seemed they were spying,
Ja.
searching for something. Did you notice?
Nö.
What do you know about these guys? The ones who are after you?
They are called Angels.
Seems he had a few extra to spare for the tumbleweeds.
Mhm.
I see. What else? Oh, let's see.
Varför säger han?
Balkan tours? Not directly, no. But I've heard
No,
about them.
Fan vad jag
From a
hoppades att
guy
det
in
skulle vara
Istanbul I met.
Om jag får
He had
träffa
made it through to Europe, but then had come back to get his family. But that's another story. He had come across these Balkan tours on his way back from Serbia. He warned everyone about them who would listen. Apparently, they had a charitable program to help refugees, promising to have them. But no one who accepted their help was ever seen from again.
Wow.
People just disappeared. And it wasn't just people in the refugee community either. Tourists too. There were strange stories. I only heard bits and pieces.
Bits and
Nothing
pieces.
very clear. Mirrors. Rooms full of mirrors.
Wow.
People losing their minds and never coming back. Yes, people who were heading from Turkey into Croatia and Serbia were being warned about it. Watch out for mirrors. Rooms full of mirrors. Rooms full of ice. Well, my friend, I think right now the best thing you can do is run for safety.
Jo.
They probably have a good beat on your location, assuming the tumbleweeds were on their payroll.
Så.
Make no mistake, these guys are
Oh,
dangerous.
no.
Honestly, I have no idea. But tangling with Balkan tours right now would be suicide. I mean, it's what they want, isn't it?
Jo.
Right. Where did you get the box? They must be worried about what's inside. Worried it will expose them, all the things they've done, to her and to all the other people they've hurt. I wish I knew.
Okej.
Even if I make it to my destination, I'm still not home.
Nej.
That's what it means to be an exile.
Yes, that's very sad.
My niece, Nadia, used to ask me that question all the time. Where are you going, uncle? She was the only young person who knew I was leaving. Imagine, she knew when my father didn't.
Men,
I was always mad at my sister for telling her. She would ask me that when I was putting her to bed. The only thing you can tell when a person that young asks you a question like that at bedtime. I told her the truth. Not the truth, but the truth wrapped in the blanket of a story.
Nadjas story.
There's a place where the river Tigris runs through Baghdad. A place called the Two-Story Bridge. When I was a kid, I would go fishing there and look out at the water and wonder where it all led. As a child, I was told that the farthest place on the earth from Baghdad is a place called Fiji. I would train my eyes on the horizon and imagine that all the water led there, to the point where the sky met the earth. To my child's mind, Fiji was the place where the sky touches the earth. These people of Fiji, they must be very tolerant people to live in such a place where one has to stoop over at all times and can never stand up straight. Eventually, they resolved to leave and find a new home where the sky was farther from the earth, where the pandanus tree can grow high enough to be woven. So they left this land right under the sky, leaving behind those people so old and bent that they no longer cared to stand up straight. The other Fijians gradually moved away from the edge of the world, and the sky got a little higher, and then they found a marvelous place. It was fertile and lush, with excellent weather, an orange tree for every backyard. But there was one problem: earthquakes. Terrible earthquakes, as frequent as rains during the springtime in this country. All because the sky was still close to the earth. When there's thunder, it echoes off the roof of the sky and causes the ground to break. But the Fijians adjusted. They built their entire civilization out of rubber. Rubber houses with rubber beds that would sway during the quakes, with rubber restraints that would hold the sleeping Fijians tight while they dreamed.
Jättebra story.
But Nadia didn't want a bedtime story about that. She wanted a story about good and evil, the kind of story children like. So I changed it for her to be about a Fijian princess called Nadia, who finds the source of all the earthquakes. So Nadia finds a dragon hiding under the earth. A dragon with a splinter in its toe, whose terrible roaring causes the earth to break. Nadia slays the dragon and saves the people by uttering a magic spell. Gonothi se auton.
Oh.
Gonothi se auton. It's actually Greek. Rolls right off the tongue. No?
Oh ja.
Okay. That was interesting. Can you say that again? All the mirror eyes closed. Seems like it. And look, that's not the spell's only power. The card. There's a phone number.
Va?
Number on it now.
Wow.
Do you know what this means?
Att vi kan ringa nu.
I think you're ready to make a certain phone call.
Precis. Nej, inte riktigt än.
Right. Ready to put your spell to use?
Ja.
Good. Do you have a phone?
Ja.
Even better. So, here's the plan. You call them and tell them you want to sign up for a tour. Here's the thing. If they act like they're taking you on a tour, everything is good. But if they've figured you out, they'll try to distract you while they kidnap you. Take it from me. They tell you someone you care about is in danger, but don't believe it. If everything's fine, then everything's fine. But if someone you know is in danger, it's a trap. Get out of there. Are you ready?
Let's get ready to rumble.
Dial the number.
Hej, okej. Hur? Får inte ta upp min jävel. Så.
Yeah. Yep, what can I help you with?
Vad fan tror du?
That's a big park. You near the Argus gas station on Route 90?
Yes sir.
All right, I'll pick you up in an hour. You don't have a car, do you? Just guess from your voice. So, see you in an hour. Don't worry, I'll find you.
Motherfucker. Tror jag.
So, it worked then?
Oh ja.
I think you'll be fine. Just keep the
Where did you
spell
get that?
close at hand. And remember, if they start telling you someone
Hey.
close had been hurt, it's a trap. It's a few minutes before 3:30 in Istanbul.
Jaha.
There's another raft waiting. Another try. Thanks. To you too. I think you'll be fine. You have allies all along this road, even in the cars of enemies. I've left something for you.
Ja, ser det. Lämna mig inte.
Hey, sorry I haven't written in a while.
Så, tack så mycket för att ni tittat på det här avsnittet. Gillar ni den ni ser? Glöm inte att klicka tummen upp. Skriv en trevlig kommentar så ses vi igen i nästa avsnitt som antagligen är det sista i den här serien. Så, hej då!